Last week, Director Wray sat in the hot seat. By the way, is it still warm, or did you bring some pot holders?
I am prepared to answer the questions of this committee.
Thank you, sir.
Congressman.
Director Wray testified that a lot of the animus that has been conjured up against government in this Congress particularly, but around the country, have given white supremacists the belief that their actions may be justified. And it's hurt morale at his agency, and it's jeopardized the lives of some of his agents. A situation in Cincinnati where a man went out and he didn't kill anybody, but he tried to. He was going to go to the Cincinnati base. And there have been others. Has your division of government, Homeland Security, been affected? The employees' morale been affected by these white supremacist threats and statements? And have you been, any of your agents and sites been the victim of violence?
Congressman, it is the anti-government sentiments and their connectivity to violence that is the subject of my discussions with many of our frontline personnel and the threats that they have encountered as a result.
Has there been any violence directed at any of your sites?
There has, and we have an agency within the Department of Homeland Security, the Federal Protective Service, remarkable men and women in uniform who protect federal facilities and the personnel who work in them.
There was a court ruling yesterday, and I didn't get into depth, but I believe it suspended a program that the president, and that includes you, tried to have for border entry and who could come to this country and seek asylum and limit it to some extent. And it was stayed, I believe, by a court. Is that correct?
Yes, Congressman. It's the Circumvention of Lawful Pathways regulation that we promulgated as part of our process to expand lawful pathways for individuals and at the same time deliver consequences for those who do not use those pathways.
Were there similarities to the program that the President Biden and you had stayed, that President Trump had also tried to implement or did implement?
It is a different program than the one that President Trump implemented, Congressman.
Okay. Did it have any parts of it?
No, and I will not speak much about this, Congressman, because the matter is the subject of litigation, but President Trump issued a transit ban on individuals, and our regulation is not a ban. It shifts the evidentiary burden, it raises it, and creates a rebuttable presumption, which is quite distinct from a ban.
Could you say that was a middle ground between what President Trump had and what the court maybe wanted because the court stayed it and didn't allow it to occur?
Congressman, I'm not able to comment any further, given the fact that it's a matter of pending litigation.
Thank you, sir. I've had a problem, which is more local in nature, I guess. Constituents who've complained that the opportunity to get certified by the Global Entry Program in Memphis, Tennessee has been thwarted, that they've been told they need to go to Jackson, Tennessee. And Memphis is a city of over 1 million people. Jackson's a city of about 100,000. Why our folks would have to go to Jackson to get their Global Entry form is hard for me to comprehend. They said that they had to travel there. We've tried to get in touch with the people at Global Entry. I think we've got a phone call Friday, but we found it very difficult to get in touch. The phone number that we were given by some people with TSA as a kind of a speedy number, the number we need to get action. My staff said that the phone was hardly ever answered. They mostly stayed on hold. Could you ask the folks, because they come under you at Global Entry, to look into why citizens in Memphis have to go to Jackson? They were told us because some of their people have to help FedEx. Everybody should help FedEx, but besides that, they need to help the citizens of Memphis get their Global Entries as well. So can you look into that for me?
I will, Congressman. The Global Entry Program is one of 2 trusted traveler programs. Global Entry is under U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and PreCheck is under the Transportation Security Administration. Those are 2 very successful trusted traveler programs that enhance the security of travel in the United States, as well as facilitated that travel. I'd be pleased to look into that issue.
Thank you, sir. And are you from Miami?
No, I was born in Cuba and fled the communist takeover of Cuba to the United States.
You didn't come to Miami at all?
I did. We lived in Miami for a couple of years before my father found work elsewhere.
Thank you. Well, I'm in the same status, except I didn't go to Cuba first, but I did go to Miami, and then my father found better employment elsewhere. Thank you, and appreciate your work. Yield
Mr.
back.
Chairman, I'd ask unanimous consent